Alright, we are live. Alright everyone, for this week in the Rainbow Rocket Castle series, we'll be playing with Blaine's team, and we're going to be playing in Ultra Sun today. Sabrina last week was done in Ultra Moon, so today will be in Ultra Sun. Blaine's team, for a quick review, this is the team we're using. This is a very solid team. Do I think it could be better than Janine's team? No. The main problems that I see with this team is that no Pokemon here has a setup move. So you essentially just have to do brute force. But Arcanine with a Focus Sash and like close combat and overheat for great damage is good. Plus, Arcanine's got Intimidate. That can be a useful ability to have. Flash Fire, not so much. Ninetales would just be here for raw damage, but Will-O-Wisp, though, is going to be pretty good to have. Charizard is essentially just raw damage output. Magmortar is just raw damage output. If you're wondering what its speed is when you take into account the Choice Scarf, right now at level 63, Magmortar has 177 speed. So if we give that a 50% boost, that'll be 265 speed. I think that's enough to outspeed Mega Mewtwo X. Especially if we give it a few levels. So that's going to be great. Alright, so then Flareon here. I don't know why. Every time someone has a Flareon, it's straight up garbage. Like, why does Flareon always have to have such crappy movesets? Like, Toxic, I guess, could have some sort of use, because Janine did have uses for Toxic. I mean, at least Overheat's a very powerful move, same with Superpower, but couldn't Blaine have given it Flare Blitz? Like, my god. And Rotom, this is actually interesting. It has Flame Orb and Trick. So if I wanted to, since none of the evil villain leaders have held items with the exception of the Mega Pokemon, I could trick onto the opponent the Flame Orb to burn them. I mean, I'm not really going to use Pain Split, because I still don't really know how that move works. Like, will it heal me or damage me? I don't know. But Overheat and Thunderbolt's quite nice. My one problem is I don't like the amount of times he uses Overheat. But at least he's got Fire Blast, so that's good. Game Freak hates Flareon. Sure does. I don't know, I think all the evolutions are way too loved. Like, Eevee has essentially became the secondary mascot. Archie's Kyogre is going to be painful. Yeah, unfortunately, Ninetales can't have Drought because I ban hidden abilities in these playthroughs. Unless the trainer can actually have the hidden ability, I can't use it, because I'm not truly using his team. Oh, Flareon couldn't learn it till Gen 6? Dang. Dominic, that's not what Pain Split does. It averages out the HP between you and the target. It averages it. So basically, if my health is low against a target with full health, that'd be the best time to use it. But yeah, Archie will definitely cause some problems for sure. But anyway, oh, I forgot to bring up the leaderboard. Why is that there? Alright, I can't really use Scott's tier list for my own tier list with people in it, so here's my own custom tier list. Alright, so right now, our highest ranked gym leader is Janine in the S tier, and Erica is all the way down in the D tier. We're saving the F tier for teams that either A, cannot beat the Rainbow Rocket Castle, or B, they can only beat it with very, very lucky scenarios. But Misty and Erica were both bad, but they weren't F tier bad. But yeah, if I had to take a guess, I think he might underperform Brock. I think Blaine's gonna end up being in the B tier. You predict B tier? Yeah, there's really no, like, metrics to determining what tier is where. It's kind of just personal feelings. Anyway, why don't we get started? F tier should include hacking rare candies. Yeah, I think I'll make that F tier. Honestly, C tier would also be likely because Surge's biggest problem was Giovanni. And another problem Surge had was half of his Pokemon did not have good movesets, but these are great movesets. Alright, well, let's get started. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, who do I want in front? Honestly, I think Magmortar. Because Magmortar's got the Choice Scarf, and it's got some powerful moves. Quite excited for this week's game. Yeah, Axew went ahead and planned out Magneton and Electrode for me. I did skim through the notes he made, and I'm very worried because he mentioned EVs. That's all I'm going to say. At least we have the Overweight Lizard and Rotom Heat for Giovanni. True, at least we're not facing Mega Mewtwo Y today, we're facing Mega Mewtwo X. What we could do is, I don't think Rotom can outspeed Mega Mewtwo X, but something we could do is if Rotom could outspeed it, or at least survive a hit, I could... Oh wait, no, I can't trick Flame Orb onto it. Never mind. I am still very worried about the Faba battle, though, that's coming up. Because, kind of similar to Sabrina, most of our attacks are special. Flareon, though, and Arcanine are physical attackers. But we don't have anything that blocks stat drops. Yeah, Mega Mewtwo X really likes using Stone Edge, and it has Stone Edge, Earthquake, Drain Punch, Zen Headbutt. It'll most likely go for Stone Edge or Earthquake. Stone Edge only has 5 PP. Yeah, but I feel like it's not going to matter too much with this fight because if Mewtwo is able to live for 5 turns, we're probably going to be dead. And then he'll just switch to Earthquake, right? Yeah, I really don't mind leading with Magmortar for a lot of these fights because Magmortar's in the slow level up group. Is it in the slow group? No, I think it's medium fast. What if they made Shadow Lugia available in Ultra Moon? It'd be too OP. Arcanine slow... Yeah, that I knew. I mean, his Arcanine's pretty good. It's got Focus Sash, so it can tank a hit. And then it's got... Oh, you know what what could theoretically help? What could theoretically help is that since Arcanine has Focus Sash, I could use Bulldoze on Mega Mewtwo X to lower its speed. That's something I could do. Like, I've learned from the Surge run, having a Focus Sash on a Pokemon is extremely useful. The only reason Surge was able to beat Giovanni was because his Electrode had a Focus Sash. What's Dominic? Dominic, what are you doing? Dominic, don't harass people. And what happened to the days where he paired up with a Ledian? I mean, Dominic, even if you were to subscribe to his channel, he probably doesn't post anything. So it's not, that's kind of useless. Yeah, Claydol is going to be rough. Okay, I think I need to prioritize the Gramble. So I'm going to go for Fire Blast. Dude, I don't think that X-Defend ever helps him. Oh, Magmortar avoided the attack. That was lucky. Nice. Now there's a Scrafty. Rotom does not have a Ghost move, just Overheat and Thunderbolt. Why would you send out Shiinotic first? Weird. It missed. It's time for the mod that Game Freak made me hate from overexposure. You mean Charizard? I think I'm out of Fire Blasts. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna send out Charizard and probably use Air Slash on it. Hey, nice. You know, funnily enough, speaking of Charizard, I'm gonna talk about the TCG really quick. There's a Scarlet and Violet era set called 151, which is essentially just a set filled with only Kanto Pokemon. And it's just straight up the most overhyped, most expensive set of all time. Like, here's the stupid thing. Like, the set is still in print, but people online are selling and buying those packs for like 23 bucks each. And the top card in the set, which is obviously a Charizard, is only for worth like 400 bucks. An Elite Trainer box goes for over 400 on the marketplace. The giant like ultra premium collection box that has like 16 packs in it and some promos goes for $700. And the set's still in print, by the way. I've actively avoided buying that set just because of how much people are willing to kill each other for it. It's just nuts. Like, the set's only Kanto Pokemon. It's ridiculous. What do I send out? Probably Ninetales Energy Ball. Yeah, I'm not kidding. $700. And I believe the original retail price was like $120. Dude, I would understand that if that was a box that came out 7 years ago and was discontinued long ago, but it's a set that's still in print. No wonders for adults only, pretty much. I just actively never bought that set. I have a binder that has some random 151 cards in it that I've gotten from a bulk purchase before. There was just some random commons and uncommons, but I refuse to buy packs from that set. Like, I straight up hate the set. Like, the price people are willing to pay per pack is actually more expensive than the XY Evolution set from 2016. That was the 20th anniversary set that had a bunch of base set reprints. The set's obviously been discontinued for a long time. I think packs are only going for like $19, and that's for a 10-year-old set too. Like, a modern set that's still in print per pack should not cost more than a set from 10 years ago. That was kind of a similar thing. Ridiculous. Hold on, I'm actually going to use Will-O-Wisp. TCG Scalpers and Kanto fanboys. Yeah, combine the two. Oh, man. I think I missed Will-O-Wisp. They whine about it, but chomp it up anyway. That's just insane, though. Like, I could buy 3 Mega Charizard X Premium Collection boxes for less than one 151 box. And both sets are in print. Honestly, 151 was actually... It didn't restart up the scalping, because at first nobody wanted the set. It was kind of like XY. It was kind of like XY Evolutions. But, I remember what happened was, it was Prismatic Evolutions, which is the set focused around Eevee. It's what reignited the scalping problem that did exist in the Sword and Shield era, but not that much. But that set made it just so much worse, and it never recovered. Arcanine for the attack drop? Yeah, that would have been a good idea. Uh-oh. At least Rotom did its job. Okay, Arcanine next. That still did quite a bit. Trick is just a delayed Will-O-Wisp. Pretty much. Alright, thankfully the Hypno is burned. Alright. Stream speed again. Well, I win. Alright, so even though we had a lot of casualties, Baba wasn't that bad. I mean, it's the whole issue with like the scalpers and the people with no lives is like some places are just more pricier than others to buy cards from, but whenever you would think of like a local card shop, the online marketplace, GameStop, all those kinds of places, and then everyone online will just scream, don't waste your money, just go to Walmart and Target and buy retail. And I'm like, oh, okay, let me just go to their website. Oh wait, there's nothing, and the website crashed because of the bots. Okay, I'll go in person. Oh wait, the shells were somehow cleared out before they opened. So what I've effectively had to do was, I've just essentially never checked those places because I don't want to have to try and work around the schedule of people with no job or just the people who are just there to make a quick buck. Plus, even though supposedly Walmarts have like a 5-item limit per person, I've seen videos of some Walmarts not enforcing it. Because Walmart could not give a rat's ass about the TCG. They don't give a rat's ass, they just want the money. They do not care. They don't care if people come in and scalp, because to them, they made the sale. So whenever just a new set comes out, like, the place I will go to are the places that I know will have stuff, even if I have to pay a higher buck. Because the places where I have to pay a higher buck, those are the places that scalpers generally avoid. Because they know they can't flip it for that much. I probably should have healed. Drop the card slowly. I feel like that makes it even worse. I mean, I know an actual proposed solution is by, like, just printing more. But here's the problem. Like, there were a few times I did decide to wait in online queues. It did not turn out well. Like, I do follow some X accounts that notify you whenever, like, the Pokemon Center queue goes up. So I'm like, oh, okay. It just went up 10 seconds ago. I'll go wait in it. So I decided to go wait in it, and it gives me an estimated wait time of an hour and a half. And I just don't stick around, because I can guarantee you 30 minutes in, it would kick me out because they're out of stuff. One time I actually waited in a Costco queue before the queue even started, and it randomly placed me at 200,000th in line, and it booted me after 10 minutes because they ran out of stuff. Like, I don't care that those places will have it for cheapest anymore. Like, the stress in trying to get some there and trying to beat other people just isn't worth it. Oh, she did heal me. Besides, it's better to support your local card shops anyway. Just know which ones to support, though, because when I was on vacation, I stopped at like 13 different card shops within 3 different cities. Most of them were pretty decent. There were 1 or 2 of them that I won't name. There's this one that had prices so extraordinarily high I won't go there. Their prices have been extremely high for years, even before I quit collecting for the first time back in like 2022. Like, even back then, they were very overpriced. That was before the scalping went out of control. But I remember when I went into that store, they were charging $12.99 for a booster pack of Mega Evolution, when the market price is like $7.99. And they were trying to sell a Mega Evolution booster box for $3.99. And they had the nerve to tell me that's actually a discount. The only thing I bought there when I looked was they had some Ascended Hero ETBs for $90, which honestly kind of surprised me. I wholeheartedly expected them to say $250, because it would not have surprised me. But yeah, it's in a mall, and I just don't like going there. Their shit is way too overpriced. Like, it's highway robbery, dude. Green, yellow, red, green, blue, blue. Okay. I thought that was green. Alright, green is the top right. Or top left. Well, here's the other thing. That very expensive shop that was in the mall actually had lots of product. They're just that overpriced. Like, I don't mind having to pay a little bit more than retail price just so I don't have to deal with the headache of scalpers and queues. But that was a way too high for me. Red, blue, yellow, blue, green, yellow, red, green. Okay, red is up here. Blue is down here. Yellow. Oh, another thing about TCG, the next set, Mega Evolution Perfect Order, comes out at the end of the month. I've already opened a lot of Ascended Heroes. I've opened up 4 Elite Trainer boxes. I bought 2 from that expensive strip mall. I bought 1 from my local shop in town. And I bought another one from someplace else. I don't remember where. Might have been the card show I went to. But, I'm probably not gonna open up too much more of that set just because it's one of those like special release sets where they only come out in like Elite Trainer boxes and like booster bundles. I don't think the booster bundles are out yet, but when they release the booster bundles, I'll get some, but they don't release booster boxes for special sets. But the problem is that they made Ascended Heroes like 280 cards big for a set that doesn't have a booster box. I hate it when they do that kind of shit. I pulled some really good cards from it though. Like from Ascended Heroes, I actually pulled the Mega Feraligatr EX Secret Illustration Rare. That card, last I checked, is worth like 130 bucks. It's definitely not the top chase card, because there's a Mega Gengar EX Secret Illustration Rare in that set that, for some reason, people are buying for over 1,000 bucks, which is definitely very overvalued. But I'm proud of what I pulled. Sorry if the talk of the trading cards is boring some people, but we're not really doing any major fights right now. Gen 1 Mon. Yeah. Gengar's definitely a top 10 for a lot of people. Red and green. Red? Green. Here's my question though, like supposedly, like the card is worth 1,000, but the question is, who is actually paying 1,000 for it? Like, it's only worth that much because there are people willing to pay 1,000 for it. I'm beginning to think a lot of those prices are made up. I mean, maybe there are some actual eBay listings that showed the cards sold for 1,000, but I highly doubt it. Because the other thing, like, this set just came out. Like, whenever a set, like, just comes out, the card's value is usually at its highest, but then it goes down quite a bit. Like, when when Scarlet Violet Surging Sparks came out in, I believe it was November 2024, when it came out, the Pikachu EX Secret Illustration Rare was going for like, it was like a $400-something card, but now the card's only worth like $240. The Latios EX in that set, SIR, went from like $230 down to $130. Because when a set loses its hype, the demand goes down. It literally happens every time, but there are still people dumb enough to buy the cards. I've seen people actually sell pre-orders for very specific cards. Like, people will try to buy the cards before the set's even up. I did not know that thing had attract. Maybe I should have switched to Rotom. Great. Yeah, Steve doesn't like poison types either. Hello, Panda. Thunderwave, Attract, and Swagger? Does that thing have an actual attack? Foul play. I'm just gonna keep this in. What Pokemon you on? I'm a little confused what you mean by that. I'm playing with a full team of 6. I'm playing with Blaine's team. From, Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. But right now we're about to fight Maxie. Oh, what game am I on? Pokemon Ultra Sun. I go back and forth between Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon for this series. My goal is just beating the Rainbow Rocket Castle. Okay, who would be a good lead against Mightyena? Let's see. I think Charizard with Focus Blast, I think, is a good target. Oh yeah, Archie is gonna be very rough. Surprisingly, Faba was easy. John, the only reason I didn't go Arcanine was because of Intimidate. The Mightyena has Intimidate. That was the reason I didn't go for it. You know, I don't know if BizHawk supports it, but I should experiment with a filter that removes the black lines. I probably wouldn't do it for solo runs, but I think for this game specifically, it might look better. I don't know if it's possible to do it in BizHawk, though, or if you have to use Citra. Great start. I hate this game. I'm starting over. That's ridiculous. Normally, I wouldn't start over that early on, but that's ridiculous. Like, I'm not trying to, like, sweep with Charizard or anything, but missing the first 2 Focus Blasts, like, I'm just gonna lose anyway. I'm not gonna waste your time. Gone. Why would I swap to Arcanine? I don't want my Intimidate user to get damaged. Alright, Camerupt. I don't know if it has Rock Slide. I'm gonna switch, actually. Let me bring up its team. Cerebi. Stone Edge. It's got Stone Edge. Alright, I'm going to switch to Rotom and use Pain Split. Nice. Alright, I'm going to swap out Rotom, because I want to use Trick on the Groudon. Alright, it's probably going to go for, like, Earthquake or something. I don't think it's going to Stone Edge it that low. I think I'll switch to Flareon. Ninetales has a Rock Berry. True. Probably should have used that. $120. Overheat? Oh no, not toxic. Alright, I'm swapping. Alright, there's still a Wheezing in the back, so I'm gonna spam Psychic. Good job, Maxie. Special defense drop. Got a crit. I was actually going to swap to Arcanine for Intimidate. I'm going to try, you know what? I might try for Bulldoze to lower its speed. Yeah, as a safety precaution. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be using Rotom, don't worry. The power of the Sash. Okay, Rotom wasn't needed. John, stop being demanding. Oh yeah, the sash. Wait, I think there are more sashes, right? Oh yeah. Remember, John, you don't need to play out the entire fight for me, okay? Like, I'll think of a strategy myself, and if I clearly ask a question of like, who should I send out, feel free to answer. But you don't need to do a backseat, okay? Thanks, John. Okay, this is the one that likes to use Toxic Protect. This is not a good target to be using. Alright, I'm gonna swap. Oh, true. Yeah, the Patho Berry could be useful. But I'm imagining that Kyogre's gonna be so powerful, it's not gonna matter. Intimidate's not gonna matter either. I think one of the best things to... try and do on the Kyogre is to try and trick the Flame Orb onto it, because yes, the burn's not going to matter for attack reasons, but having the chip damage will be helpful. Oh my god, this guy's annoying. Can you get rid of the rain? No, none of my Pokemon have Drought or Sunny Day. None of them do. Toxic. The main problem with Toxic is Archie has one full restore. That's the one problem with it. But Flame Orb will bypass full restore entirely. Too bad no Sunny Day. Yeah, I wish we had Sunny Day. I mean, Ninetales can have Drought, but the problem is that's its hidden ability, and I have hidden abilities banned for this. Unless the team I'm using can actually get the hidden ability. You know what's funny? I like to be further down here because it makes this cutscene kind of funny. He just runs forward to fight you when you're down, like, further south. Pretty funny. I do look forward to when we eventually use a gym leader of a type we've already used, like Brock. It'll actually be interesting to when we do Roxanne's team in Hoenn, see how it compares to Brock. I think Roxanne's gonna have a far better team. Oh, nice one-shot. This guy likes to use Mud Slap Minimize. Thankfully that strat's not going to really work too well for it. Nice. Oh, it's got Toxic too. But Evasion's not gonna matter. Hey, Elgrim. So who's the go-to against water types? I mean, Rotom Heat has Thunderbolt. Magmortar's got Thunderbolt with Choice Scarf. And the Flareon has a Paso Berry. So it will most likely survive one water attack. But I'm not sure what to use it for, though. Ninetales energy, right? Okay, this is gonna be rough. Oh yeah, Ninetales energy ball. Yeah, you're right. Alright, definitely same strat, lead with Charizard. I will do a reset if I miss 2 Focus Blasts in a row again, because that was just ridiculous. Dude. Okay. Also, with being in low HP, we might be able to utilize Blaze strats. I mean, we're not in Blaze yet, though. Okay, can we land another Focus Blast? Nice. That is Blaze range. Ooh, just in time for the Muck. Yep, I'm dead. Alright, who would be good to send out now? Part of me thinks Magmortar's Psychic, but I still know there's a... Well, there's also a Crobat coming out. I don't know, I'm thinking Magmortar, and when Kyogre comes out, I'll switch. You guys think Magmortar? Spam Psychic? What I'm thinking. Yeah, I think so, yeah. Hey, Masters. How's the run going? Baba went surprisingly easy. Maxie wasn't that bad at all. But I am terrified of Kyogre, because I don't know how I'm going to deal with it. Oh. Toxic strats can now work. He just wasted his 1 full restore. I want to swap out. Alright, Alright, I'm going to switch. Here's my plan. I'm going to switch into Arcanine and use Extreme Speed. And then I'll probably have to sacrifice Arcanine. Rotom's faster than Kyogre? I don't know. Kingler Calc does not have the Rainbow Rocket teams. So I have no idea. You know, fun fact, there was a censored artwork for a Magmortar card during the Black and White era, because its cannon was aimed directly at the player and it looked like a gun. They had to change the artwork for the English release. I don't know. I'm actually going to be using Toxic. Because I have the Passo berry, so I might be able to survive a Surf. I guess I could go for a Bulldoze. I mean, I think Groudon and Kyogre have the same speed. So if Arcanine outsped Groudon, I should outspeed Kyogre. Yep. Yep, Toxic. The question is, I think even with the Pasto Berry, I think the rain may not let us survive a Hydro Pump. Oh right, the Bulldoze. And Arcanine's Bulldoze has been really good. Alright, do you guys think Flareon will survive? Nope. No, it did not. But it did its job. Now we just have to stall. Here's what I'm going to do. Since I have Choice Scarf Magmortar alive, I'm going to use Thunderbolt. This is going to be cutting it close. It should go down after one more turn. Yeah, at least not the primal versions, thankfully. There we go. Archie definitely threw by using his full restore on the Crobat instead, because if he still had his full restore, I would not have used Toxic, I would have used Trick Flame Orb. This is why Flareon and Glaceon are in a battle for who's the worst evolution. Do any of the gym leaders use Glaceon on their team in the World Leaders Tournament? Part of me thinks Candace does. You know, I do actually look forward to when I can play the Rainbow Rocket Castle with a team that has a Mega Evolution on it. Yeah, I'll need to re-equip the berry. I actually read a theory that the reason Game Freak never created a Dragon-type evolution, or any other evolution for that matter, is because since Eevee is one of the most popular Pokemon out there, every single type of evolution that doesn't have a type essentially got tons of fan art. And from what I've heard, Game Freak doesn't want to do it because they're worried they might rip off of someone else's design. Because think about it, like Poison-type evolution, like if you go into DeviantArt, there's probably like hundreds of different designs for a Poison-type evolution. I mean, it would definitely make sense for a theory, but honestly, I think 8 evolutions is enough. Whoops. Zinnia's team. I'd like to do Zinnia's team at some point, but I have to do the gym leaders first. I mean, I don't have to do the gym leaders first. I could theoretically stop at Kanto. Maybe after we do the Kanto leaders, we'll take a break and do a couple of other interesting trainers before we do Johto. We'll try that. My only conditions, though, is it has to be a person in an actual game that has a team of 6. Like, the problem is, Zinnia only has 5 Pokemon. I don't want to do Rainbow Rocket with only 5 Pokemon. So theoretically, maybe we could pull from one of her other teams and get like a 6th Pokemon. That's the thing, I don't want to do 5 Pokemon. It has to be a team of 6. We'll probably look at some other resources for a 6th Pokemon. Throw a Whismur on it. Okay, that would actually be funny. I don't know what its moveset would be, though, so I would kind of have to just make one. Yeah, Barry could... It would depend on the starter, though. We'd have to decide which starter to use. I'm not going to do the 3 starters separately, though. We'll just look at all 3 rival teams and be like, okay, who's the best? No, the only runs in this series I've done were the first 7 gym leaders. I don't want to do Gen 1 rival. The movesets are pure garbage. That would not be fun. I mean, ask Scott, or ask John, because John has actually played the Rainbow Rockets with, what was it, the Yellow Champion? Gladion, maybe. We'll worry about that after we do Giovanni and then Blue. And then after that, we'll think of a couple of different people. Okay, let's see. Cyrus. He's gonna lead off with Houndoom. And since this is Ultra Sun, we have Dialga, so that's actually an advantage for us today. The Houndoom. I think lead with Charizard again. So at this point, it's been gym leaders only. I do want to eventually do all the gym leaders, but I think in between regions, we'll try out a couple of other interesting trainers. And then we'll do the Johto leaders. I did use Mega Metagross, but never Mega Evolve, no Shiny. Is it because this save file doesn't have access to the Mega Ring yet? Couldn't you use PK Hex to give yourself the Mega Ring? Kinesis on Mewtwo. Dang. You did have the Mega Ring. Oh, okay. Do you have the Mega Ring in the save file you sent me? Alright, something I've learned about this Honchkrow. This Honchkrow is an absolute idiot. It likes to use Sky Attack. Its other moves are Night Slash, Heat Wave, and Icy Wind. I mean, it's probably a key item. I can look after the fight. Gen 1 Pidgeot Aura. Alright, he still has a Weavile after this, so I'll send out Magmortar and use Fire Blast. Theoretically, I could use Rock Slide, but I think Fire Blast would be better. He'll have Dialga. Oh, yeah, okay. I could technically Fire Blast into this. It's neutral. Yeah, thankfully we get to be an Ultra Sun today. Not because we're doing the easier one. I'm just alternating between Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon because Brock started in Ultra Sun. Or no. Brock and Misty were both Ultra Moon by mistake. Brock should have been Ultra Sun. So I had to do Surge then Erica both in Ultra Sun. But either way, we're at Ultra Sun now. Alright, I'm gonna use Trick just in case. I just like how Roar Time just has a recharge turn. Okay, I think Ninetales is the best bet. Dude. Oh. Okay, Burn should kill it. Nice. Sub-hour Cyrus, that's good. Gen 1 mechanics. He's like, wait a minute, I'm knocking you out with Hyper Beam. Why am I recharging? Oh yeah, Mewtwo's gonna be tough. The one advantage Mega Mewtwo Y would have over Mega Mewtwo X is that Mega Mewtwo Y has way worse defense. Mega Mewtwo X is more bulky. Alright, I don't think I need to re-equip any items. Gotta be careful, that guy can see you through the wall. Dang it. Sometimes you can avoid them. Bro spamming Roar of Time. I mean, his other moves are Flash Cannon, Earth Power, and Thunderbolt. It would be the wisest idea to use Earth Power. The thing is, all the AI sees is just raw damage. Roar of Time does the most raw damage. He doesn't care about the recharge. Oh yeah, we're gonna be dealing with Xerneas today. Honestly, we sort of have an advantage with Xerneas. Wait, does Xerneas have Thunderbolt? Oh, does have Thunderbolt, okay. You know, out of all these evil leaders that I face in this, Lysander is definitely one of my favorite to face. Explosion. Physical attackers are easy for Blaine to stop. Will-O-Wisp playing more of Intimidate. Sure is, yeah. Thing is though, even though Mega Mewtwo X might be easier for us to face today than Mega Mewtwo Y, the rest of Giovanni's team is still going to be hard. Like, we might get walled pretty bad. Funnily enough, Rotom is actually the slowest Pokemon I have. Electric Fire, yes. Fun fact, in Generation 4, when Rotom's alternate forms were introduced via event, they were all Electric Ghost. It wasn't until Gen 5 they gained those typings. Okay, Minshao. I think Charizard is still the appropriate lead because of Air Slash. This version of Rotom looks like a mini oven. It's supposed to be a mini oven. Alright, Focus Blast, come on. You really think it nerfed Rotom with those extra typings? Really? I'll definitely need to save Arcanine's Intimidate for Gyarados too. Ow. That hurt. Alright, his Honchkrow is way more competent because it doesn't have Sky Attack. Okay, I need to switch. I think Rotom. I can't use Trick on the Gyarados because it's holding the Mega Stone. I mean, I could use it here. You know what? It's got special moves. It wouldn't be worth it. Dude, a Honchkrow outspeeds me. Wow, this thing is slow. You know, funny, I've never once used Rock Slide. This thing is, all of the EVs for Magmortar are in its speed and special attack. Like, there's no... I do not know why Blaine gave this thing Rock Slide. This thing would have been better off with, like, I don't know, Fire Blast and, like, Flamethrower or something. I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna swap to Arcanine, let it die, just for the Intimidate. Why would you ever use Rock Slide? That's what I'm saying. It just seems like a useless move for Magmortar to have. Yeah, Focus Blast, that would have been good. Did Intimidate still activate? I think so, right? Alright, I think I'm gonna Flareon Superpower. Okay, it did activate. Okay. Dude, it crit. Screw off, dude. Screw off. Alright, Energy Ball. Oh, that did not do much. Dude, that thing is a beast, even with Intimidate. Okay, I should have gone Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, this fight might be a failure. Oh, let's just try. Nice. Will-O-Wisp might... Yeah, I should have used Will-O-Wisp. Intimidate did shit on that Gyarados. That's just how powerful it is. Makes me look forward to backporting Mega Gyarados and Crystal. Wow, it lives 2 Thunderbolts. Alright, that's a failure. I still think lead with Charizard's the right call, though. It just seems like for a lot of teams, like, their first reset will end up being at Lysander. When you missed Focus Blast, was that on Honchkrow? Hey, Gyarados is still a monster. It always has been a monster. Okay. Focus Blast. Wait. Hyper Voice is gonna kill me, I think. Nope. I need to Focus Blast that Pyroar. Otherwise, the fight just goes way too wrong. Exact repeat of last time. That's just the necessary evil of Focus Blast. There we go. Alright, so now on the Honchkrow, I'm gonna use Focus Blast. Well, no, maybe not Focus Blast. Flamethrower would actually be my best move. Dang. Alright, so what I've learned, Intimidate does not mean jack on that. But, well, maybe Intimidate plus Will-O-Wisp will be enough. Oh, Life Orb, right. See, that's how much it does when it doesn't crit. Am I gonna outspeed this? I'm gonna try and bulldoze it. Nice. What do you mean why swapping out? You mean why I switched to Arcanine? For Intimidate. No, I went for Bulldoze because the Gyarados is just so fast, I better just have insurance. Okay. Will-O-Wisp. Who's my Will-O-Wisp user? Ninetales. Hey, if it goes for Stone Edge, I got the Charty Berry. John, I didn't want to risk it, though, because if that Gyarados had lived, it would outspeed most of my team. I wasn't willing to risk it, John. You gotta think of, like, it may or may not kill, but the problem is, what if it doesn't kill? I'm in trouble. Special defense drop. Alright, that might be full restore territory. But Rotom should outspeed. Yep, full restore. See, John, that's why I used Bulldoze. Never underestimate the power of speed control, dude. Alright, I'll definitely trick the Flame Orb on Xerneas, but I think it'll outspeed. It might go for Geomancy, though. Yep, Geomancy. Alright, Overheat. Honestly, it might not go for Psyshock. I think it might go for another Geomancy. But then again, what else is Rotom gonna do? Okay. Nice crit. Thankfully, Lysander only has one full restore. Gets his head Giovanni up 2. Honestly, I think that crit made it a lot easier, because if it weren't for that crit... Ow. Here's the weird thing. Well, maybe Fairy Aura makes Moonblast better, but I would think Xerneas would be using Psyshock. Oh yeah, the crit absolutely made it easier. I think we still would have won without the crit. We would have just had to think of something else. Psychic had 90, Moonblast 95. It's better unless you're a poison type. Well, the thing is, Fire resists fairy moves. So that's why I was thinking it would be using Psyshock, but I guess Fairy Aura made it better. Okay. Here's the thing with Ghetsis' entire team. 3 out of 5 of his Pokemon are weak to fighting, but who do I want to lead with against Cofagrigus? Honestly, on the bright side, I'm immune to Will-O-Wisp. I don't have any Ghost or Dark moves. I'm thinking of leading with Rotom to trick onto it the Flame Orb. And then with Bouffalont, Bisharp, and Hydreigon, I'll try to sweep with Focus Blast. And then Zekrom. My plan for Zekrom is to send in Arcanine and try and get off a Bulldoze. Yeah, Ninetales might be better lead. How does it feel, Coffee Rodriguez, to get your own strat against you? Question, does Power Swap do physical attack and special attack? Bruh. No, John, I'm not interested in a team race. I like the fact that I'm not trying to speed through this. Like, it's more relaxing. Switching. Interesting. Not like that burn matters, though, but better than nothing. Alright, guess we're sending out, Charizard. Great start. Try that again. It is both? Okay. I am not going to survive much longer. Alright, I'm going to flamethrower this just because I'm in Blaze. Alright, I don't think maybe a Blaze Flamethrower kills. I'm gonna go for it. Surprisingly not. And I don't think Quick Attack is gonna kill from that health. You know what? Maybe it will. I'm going for it. Wait, gets us Might full restore. I'm going Superpower. Oh. Interesting, so I went absolute overkill for nothing. That's interesting. I will admit, this Flareon has been kind of useful. Let's go Toxic. Dang, this Flareon's fast. Bolt Strike miss. Nice. Oh, I didn't think I'd get this far. Superpower, I guess? Alright, I'm gonna send in Arcanine to use Bulldoze. I mean, maybe I don't need to, because I don't think Zekrom is too fast. Yeah, Bull Strike's effect is really cool. I mean, I'm going for it just in case. At least I got the Intimidate. Alright, it's gonna full restore, so I'm gonna close combat. Nice Bolt Strike miss. Dude, Getsus is not having great luck today. What's funny, Bolt Strike has 85 accurate. 85 accuracy. It's essentially a slightly stronger, more accurate Thunder. Or it's like an electric type Fire Blast, but slightly stronger. Huh, he didn't use his second one. It'd be really funny if Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon had a glitch, had the same glitch with Getsus. Because fun fact, N and Getsus in Black and White 1 each have 4 full restores in the game's code, but they each only use 1 during a fight. Getsus KB the fight. He had 2 full restores and only used 1. Yeah, that was weird. Okay, Giovanni. This is where we think we're going to get walled. So what do you guys think is the best lead against Dugtrio? I mean, we have no water moves. We have a grass move and energy ball. But the Dugtrio is going to outspeed us. I'm thinking we lead with Mag Mortar, so that way Dugtrio cannot use Sandstorm or Stealth Rock. But I think Stealth Rock would be a death sentence for this team. So I think Mag Mortar lead with Fire Blast. Crit Slash, that's sorta true. They only use full restores on their highest level Pokemon. It's why, like, on Red's team, he only full restores Pikachu. He does not full restore anything else. Just because it's the highest level. But the highest level happens to be the Ace, so it's sort of true. Yeah, aren't flying types super effective against ground? No. Flying types are immune to ground moves, though. So yeah, I'm still thinking lead with Mag Mortar on Dugtrio. And depending on who switches out, we'll decide it from there. So yeah, definitely as of this moment right now, I wouldn't say Blaine is S tier territory because it did struggle against Lysander. And it did have to do creative planning for a bunch of evil villain leaders. But I'd say right now, depending on how Giovanni goes, it'll be anywhere from A tier to D tier, depending on how this goes. But I do think we are better suited for this fight than Surge was. And Surge was also in Ultra Sun. Red's ace is Snorlax. Fun fact, in the Pokemon World, in the Pokemon Champion Leaders Tournament in Black 2 and White 2, Red is the only Pokemon trainer in that whole tournament to not have an ace. Like with Blue, for example, he'll always bring... Don't remember what it was, but there's one Pokemon he'll always lead with. But like, Red does not have one of those. Fire Blast or Psychic? I'm thinking Psychic, just in case a Nido comes out. But if it's not strong enough, we'll go Fire Blast. Oh. I think you don't mind us resetting that, do you? Okay, Fire Blast is twice as strong as Psychic. Psychic only has a power of 90. Blue does not have Pidgeot in the Champions Tournament. I can look this up, actually. Okay, red and blue do not have aces. Everyone else in the Champions Tournament does. Lance always leads with a Dragonite, Steven Metagross, Wallace Melodic, Cynthia Garchomp, Alder Volcarona. Blue and red do not have leads. Their teams are completely random. Okay, let's do Fire Blast. Fire Blast is twice as strong. There we go. Nidoking. Okay, here's the interesting thing. Stab Fire Blast is 180 power. Super effective Psychic is 180, so Fire Blast is actually just as good as Psychic. So I'd say we just keep going till we die. Okay, who should we send out next? I'd say... Do his Nidos have, like, a rock move? Neither of them have a rock move. The Nidoqueen does have Surf, though. So I'm thinking we send out Charizard. Yeah, I'm sending out Charizard. I want to save Arcanine for Mega Mewtwo X for Intimidate. I mean, Ninetales is a good one too, but maybe we want to save Will-O-Wisp. Oh, since Arcanine has the Focus Sash, I want to use Bulldoze on it turn 1, after the Intimidate. Okay, Flamethrower. Rhyperior Ninetales, good idea. I don't think that crit mattered. Okay, well, since Charizard's already out, we could just use Focus Blast. Yeah, Focus Blast. We just gotta use it now. Solid Rock. Alright, we're sending out Ninetales. If you had sent out Arcanine, you could then swap to Charizard, since Nidoking would go Earthquake. Probably, yeah. Dude, solid rock. Also, Bulbapedia is lying. Did Giovanni just use both full restores? Wow, you idiot. Bulbapedia is lying. This Rhyperior does not have Lightning Rod. It has Solid Rock. We tested it. Okay, I do want to hold on to Will-O-Wisp, but it's probably going to use Earthquake. I'm going to send in Rotom. He likes that Rhyperior. Ah, get wrecked. Dude, that Surf did not do as much as I thought. That did less than half. Hold on, here's what I'm going to do. Overheat. Dang, high roll. Okay, who's next? I don't want to send out Arcanine right away. Honestly, I think it has to be Flareon. Honestly, Flareon or Ninetales will be the Will-O-Wisp user, but who has the higher speed right now? 163 to 213. Okay, Ninetales. Eye Shock, okay. Oh shit. I'm amazed I lived that. John, you know what I should have realized about that? Nidoqueen's defense is pretty good. I should have used Fire Blast. If this was Psychic, that would have killed, but Psyshock, no. Okay, this is going to be a little tough, because I actually need to sacrifice Ninetales here. Well, actually, maybe not. The thing is, if I send out Arcanine right away and it uses Intimidate, it will have its attack go down, but the problem is, it'll hit me, I'll go down to 1 HP, and the Mewtwo will still outspeed. I need to do a clean switch in on it, so what I would have to do is I would need to sack Ninetales, right? And then send out Arcanine, get off the Intimidate, go for Bulldoze after I live at 1 HP, and then I can just use Overheat to do damage. Then I would only have Flareon left. But I could have only Ninetales left. But the thing is, I think Flareon is better to save for last, so yeah, I'm going to keep this thing in. It's going to go for Earthquake. No, I don't want to use Intimidate twice. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just stay in. Who knows, it might miss a move. Like, that's gonna help. Right, and thank God that Dugtrio could not get up Stealth Rock. Didn't even need the Focus Sash. I think it's because at that low of health, any of its moves could have knocked it out. Okay, 1 Bulldoze should be enough. I'll go for Overheat to do raw damage. Okay, the question is, does Flareon have what it takes? Because right now, what I should do is 1 Intimidate isn't going to be enough. I need to go for... Oh, this thing doesn't have Will-O-Wisp. Okay, I need to go for Raw Power. But I'm quite confident we'll live a move. So, yeah, Overheat. I hate this game. That was a critical hit. That was a crit. Okay, I still think we should lead with Magmortar. Yeah, but it still had Intimidate. Yeah, we need a bit of a different plan. I think we need Charizard and Air Slash for the Mewtwo. Hey, Crit Slash, did that bot get blocked? It did. 2 of them, dang. Alright, so clearly, what happened with Nidoking went for Earthquake and Magmortar died. So here's what I'm thinking. We switch to Rotom. Because Nidoking's the actual physical attacker, so it makes more sense to trick it. Missed Aqua Tail. Nice. Honestly, it might be worth keeping Rotom alive to bait Earthquakes. It's probably going to go for Aqua Tail again, though. Maybe send out Arcanine? No, because I need Arcanine at full HP. I think I think I just need to keep Rotom in. I still have Charizard to bait Earthquake users. You just missed 2 Aqua Tails. Dang. That was pretty lucky. Dude, that did like nothing. Alright, that was his first full restore. Honestly, I might want to switch Rotom out. Yeah, I'm switching out. I'm switching out. Well, the thing is, my special attack is at -6 with Rotom. Yeah, I think Flareon. Oh, he withdrew. Interesting. That is interesting. Well, it's probably going to go for Earthquake. But the thing is, if I recall correctly, Charizard's Focus Blast and Ninetales Energy Ball allow both of them to live. So here's what I'm going to do. Instead of switching, I'm going to use one superpower. Good thing I didn't switch. I mean, Energy Ball could be good here. You know what? Yeah, Energy Ball will kill from here. There we go. Hey, Nidoking, how you been? I mean, Nidoking does have lower defense, but I think using Fire Blast might be better. Alright, I think now I'll go for Psyshock. Alright, Nidoqueen. It most likely will go for Earth Power, so I think I'll send in Rotom again. Alright, no point in Trick because I don't have the Flame Orb anymore. So I'm going to go for Overheat. Pain Split. Yeah, I'm thinking Magmortar next. Smogon switches. Yeah, I think Magmortar Psychic. And then Mega Mewtwo Y or X. I'm gonna swap into Ninetales. Well, the problem is if I switch into Ninetales, I lose Will-O-Wisp. I would probably switch into Charizard because it might use Earthquake. But I kind of want to keep Magmortar alive. It's part fighting also. Psychic will do okay. Okay. Terra Ground Mega Mewtwo. Crit anyway. Nice. Might go for another Bulldoze, because I don't want to put it into a heal range. And who knows, the Mewtwo is very, very fast. It might be necessary. N1, don't say that. N1, see what happens when you say stuff? You don't say you don't say, like, we're very likely to win when easily something could happen. That's how you jinx things. Alright. I know I should be going Air Slash, but please don't miss. There we go. If that had missed, I was 100% blaming you. There we go. Giovanni surprisingly didn't take in many tries. What was it, like a third try? Wagpog. You know, Chris Slash, it's good to know that you know I like Wagsire. What ranking you feeling? I don't know. I'm just gonna go through this cinematic here. He handled Giovanni a lot better than Surge did. Oh, yeah. I mean, with Surge, once I figured out what the strat was, it wasn't that bad, but Surge took so long to figure out the strat. Blaine was a lot more prepared for Giovanni. What really helped it was access to Intimidate, and honestly, if Arcanine did not have Bulldoze, this team would have been a lot worse. 55 big nuggets. I would definitely agree worse than Brock, yeah. Yeah, Lysander needed luck. I only won because of a crit. And, Archie definitely could have caused some problems. Either way, though, with Giovanni still needed a bit of luck to cooperate. And honestly, I cannot stand teams that have to over-rely on Focus Blast. You know, it's funny you say high B tier, but I have nothing in the B tier. Alright, let's take a look at the tier list. I don't think this was Sabrina material, not even close. Brock. The thing is though, Brock had Pokemon with access to setup moves, but the fact that Blaine did so good without setup was incredible. It was incredible with how good he did with no setup. Like imagine if Magmortar had access to, like, instead of Choice Scarf, it was like Choice Specs or like Calm Mind, but I feel like the extra speed did help a lot. I don't know, it's still kind of a toss-up whether it's better or worse than Brock. But Brock did not struggle with Giovanni to that extent. It is a fair... I think Choice Scarf was the better item to have the speed helped. Yeah, another thing that also really helped, like I mentioned, Arcanine having Bulldoze. Honestly, this Flareon that Blaine used, it's honestly kind of the best Flareon can expect for Gen 5 standards. Yes, it didn't have Flare Blitz, but Overheat and Superpower with Toxic, definitely great. And here's the thing, Brock still had that terrible piece of crap Onix that was essentially useless for most fights. Maybe we should compare against Brock. I think we need a comparison. I'm gonna close that. I'm gonna close my web camera just so we can take an easier look at this. Alright, so here are the teams. Like, this Onix here is just straight up garbage. I mean, Tyranitar was definitely very great to have. Golem having Rock Polish, and as well as moves like Sucker Punch, was also very great. Focus Sash with a guaranteed Swords Dance essentially was really great. Aerodactyl was the Choice Scarf user. Aerodactyl was honestly just as good as Magmortar. But here's the thing though, like, Aerodactyl had Fire Fang, Ice Fang, which aren't the best in terms of power. And this thing does have Rock Slide, which sucks, but Thunderbolt and Psychic was very great to have. I think Magmortar was the far better Choice Scarf user. Rhyperior with the Expert Belt definitely helped Brock a lot. We don't have an Expert Belt Pokemon here, but I feel like Rhyperior was kind of Charizard. Like, all coverage moves with Life Orb. Life Orb was essentially the Expert Belt. I mean, Life Orb in general is just a way better item. But then again, like I said, the main disadvantage is that a lot of our all of our fire moves were either inaccurate or lowered our own stats. But then again, Rock Slide and Stone Edge are also inaccurate. Who did Brock have trouble with? I don't remember, but I think Archie would have had problems, but Kabutops was able to utilize Swift Swim. But Brock did have to face Mega Mewtwo Y, but Mega Mewtwo Y has lower physical defense. But all I'm just saying is, this Onix is just absolutely useless. Like, yes, these 5 Pokemon were incredible, but I feel like the Onix being here really dragged it down. Like, I feel like our version of Onix was Rotom. But Rotom with Trick, Flame Orb, and Pain Split actually did help a lot. I was actually very surprised. Every Pokemon on this team had use. Every single one. But for this right here, Onix hardly ever had a use, besides just randomly using a Stone Edge. So honestly, I think because of this, I might actually rank Blaine ahead of Brock. I think Blaine deserves to be in the A tier. Because despite being weak to Giovanni, it did not take many tries. Because remember, there are some teams that aren't even weak to Giovanni at all, and those will still take like 3 tries. Like, I wholeheartedly expected Giovanni to take over 10 tries. Kind of like with Surge. Brock was a higher level too. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think Blaine deserves to be in the A tier. Alright, I gotta get rid of that. Unsupported image, shut up. Oh, right, it's because this was originally a web page file. I'll just copy off of Google Images. Oh my god. Dude. There we go. Yeah, this is a very appropriate placement for Blaine. It was not better than Sabrina, not even close. But yeah, I do think it was better than Brock. So yep, surprisingly for being difficult against Giovanni, it did not do nearly as bad as Surge. But yeah, let's take a look at Giovanni's team, because we'll do Giovanni next week. And then after Giovanni, we'll do Blue. And then afterwards, we'll think of a couple of random trainers to do for fun. before we move on to the Johto leaders. Look at this team. Life Orb, Hammer Arm, Rock Blast, Ice Punch, Earthquake, Garchomp with Choice Scarf, Nidoking with Choice Specs, Hippowdon with a Quick Claw, gross, but Sandstream, which is nice, Crocodile with Expert Belt, and Gliscor with the Flying Gem. And I have been told the gems actually do exist in the code for the Gen 7 games, they're just normally unobtainable. So we could use Flying Gem Acrobatics. But yeah, look at this. Also, Tailwind. This, I think, will definitely get S tier. The question is, will it be better than Janine's team? Because Janine had access to a very broken Venomoth. Like, Janine struggled with effectively nobody. She just destroyed everybody. But yeah, we'll definitely find out. But anyway, thank y'all for stopping by, everyone. I do appreciate it. The next stream will be tomorrow, where it'll be Pokemon Leaf Green week. We'll be doing the game with Electrode. Yeah, it's going to be quite awful.